All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye, but the dawn is breaking, it's early morn. Taxi's waiting, he's blowing his horn. Already I'm so lonesome I could cry. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down. So many times I've played around. I tell you now, they don't mean a thing. Every place I go, I think of you. Every song I sing for you. When I come back, I'll wear your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Now the time has come to leave you. One more time, let me kiss you. Then close your eyes, I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come when I won't have to leave alone. About the time I won't have to say. Kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go.
You're listening to All Aboard for a Cure, the 2019 Relay for Life of Second Life on Relay Radio. The 15th annual Virtual Relay for Life is sponsored by RGF Estates, Rockcliffe University Consortium, Soul Existence, The Chili Pot, Relay Refresh, and our Heart of Relay sponsor, Seacoast Chevrolet.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the opening ceremony. The 15th the 15th annual Relay for Life of Second Life. All aboard for a cure. You all ready? You got your tickets ready? Jump on board because it's time to relay.
Oh, come along with me. Play with it while you have hands. The settled cities are the same. Trespassing, this is a land. Time flies, make a statement, take a stand. Come along now, come along with me. Come along now, come along and you'll see what it's like to be free. Come along with me. Come along now, come along and you'll come along with me, and let's seize this day. Come along with me. Time flies, make a statement, take a stand. Time flies, make a statement, take a stand. Time flies, make a statement, take a stand. Time flies, take your stand. Come along now, come along and you'll see what it's like to be free. What it's like to be free. Come along with me. Come along now, come along and you'll see what it's like to be free. What it's like to be. Come along now, come along with me, and I'll ease your pain. Come along now, come along with me. All I see is this day. Come along with me. Time flies, make a statement, take a stand. Come along now, come along and you'll see. Time flies, make a statement, take a stand.
Oh, how wonderful it is to see all of you at this year's Relay for Life of Second Life. So many of you jumped on board and made this season absolutely special. We've had so much fun over the past 16 weeks that I almost wish it didn't have to end. But at least we have a spectacular finale planned for the next 24 hours. Did you know that this year 203 teams have registered? And we've already raised $225,000 US. We have over 100 motorcycle clubs who've been tailgating for the past 5 days. And our mega events all surpassed their totals from last year. Speaking of our 203 teams, about half of them are new to Relay for Life, A Second Life. Because of that, this would be a great time to look back on the history of the American Cancer Society, presented by Caledonia Sky Tower, Elric Merlin, Corwin Allen, Caden O'Connell, David Abbott, and our staff partner, Stingray Raymaker.
Since its beginning, the American Cancer Society has always reached certain all-aboard moments that go on to forever shape who we are and our global impact in the fight against cancer. Looking back to the establishment of the very first version of the Society in 1912, it was a combination of doctors and laypeople who recognized that in order to fight back against cancer, we needed all hands on deck.
Do you know what Dr. Barrow told me last night?
I dread to think.
He's got several patients with cancer, but isn't planning on telling them.
It won't do. Too many of us are choosing to lie to our patients because we're too afraid to diagnose something that can't be treated.
And you can't say it isn't tempting, after all. Who wants to hand out a death sentence?
Half the population won't even say the word cancer. When they speak it, they whisper it, as though they're afraid the name alone will infect them.
Yes. Did you hear that so-and-so got...
This is the problem we must solve. We have to change the conversation about cancer in this world. How can we expect to ever address this disease if we as a society are too afraid to even speak its name?
I agree. We have to start educating people so that we can strip away the fear of the unknown, educate the profession, and they can educate the world.
How will we get people on board?
We form an official cancer-fighting organization to serve as an authority on the subject. We'll recruit some of the most respected minds in the medical community and have them build a new language for this battle.
We can offer pamphlets through doctors' offices.
Why limit it to doctors? If we're going to beat cancer, it's going to take everyone. We form a united front, people from all walks of life. It's time for us to take control of this disease once and for all.
We can call ourselves the Association of Cancer Physicians.
Physicians?
You're right. The American Society for the Control of Cancer.
The mission of shaping the language and openly confronting the cancer issue would prove the right strategy, leading to the Women's Field Army and the official naming of the American Cancer Society in 1936. Almost a decade later, Mary Lasker and Elmer Bobst secured the funding and the fortitude to push the movement forward.
They're not, for instance, as fervent and automatic as the scenes which followed the liberation.
Now that the war's over, I think it's time to bring America's focus back to important issues at home.
Like cancer?
Of course. I've dedicated my life to the American Cancer Society, and I think we can push ourselves to do more. I feel like the time is right for a bold move.
You mean the new research program?
Yep. And we already have the funding. We can earmark a fourth of the money we've already raised to get it started.
$1 million's definitely a great start. Mary, do you realize if this works, it could change the whole identity of the American Cancer Society?
It's going to do more than that, Elmer. It's going to change the whole world.
That decision would play an important role in the creation of chemotherapy, in the discovery of the connection between smoking and lung cancer, in the pap smear effectiveness and mammographies, and nearly every major cancer research breakthrough over the last 70 years. $4 billion and 47 Nobel Prizes later, the American Cancer Society is the world's foremost authority on cancer prevention, detection, and treatment. Funding this mission would inspire Dr. Gordy Klatt and Pat Flynn to take literal steps toward the creation of Relay for Life.
Oh, thank goodness someone's here to walk with us.
Gordy! I can't say that I'm shocked to see you haven't given up. I'd be lying if I said part of me was hoping you'd be napping on the 20-yard line right about now.
Hey, Pat, I appreciate the support, but why aren't you home sleeping?
Well, I knew you'd be out here by yourself, but I thought you could use some company. And I have an idea.
Ah, there it is. Well, it must be a good one. You got out here at 3 a.m.
Yes, it is. You remember what you were saying yesterday about finding a way to get more people involved?
Well, yeah, and not just the runners. We've got to figure out a way to involve the entire community. Everyone deserves a chance to fight back against cancer, whoever they are.
That's just it. But no one in their right mind is going to willingly walk for 24 hours. So I was lying in bed just now, and that's when it hit me. Teams.
Oh, I like that. So each team can be made up of, say, 12 people, and they take turns walking around the track.
Exactly. Each team member takes a 2-hour shift where they are the ones walking the track, representing their group.
And instead of one person collecting pledges, all 12 team members are collecting pledges. Pat, this is genius.
Yes, and we can even have competitions for which team can walk the most laps, who can raise the most money through the weeks leading up to the event.
And we can even let teams set up a campsite so they have a place to rally in between shifts and cheer each other on.
I think we might be on to something here. If this works, it might become a pretty big deal for the American Cancer Society.
Pat, this will be a big deal for the entire world.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to
This conversation would lead to Relay for Life becoming the signature fundraising event of the American Cancer Society for the next 40 years. To this day, Relay for Life is the largest fundraising movement in history, having occurred in more than 5,000 communities and 26 countries and the virtual world. This is our history. These are the people on whose shoulders we stand. Like them, we press forward with brazen ideas and a pioneering spirit to fulfill the vision that was set in 1912 and carried forward since then. We are guided by our shared goal of finding cures and fighting back against cancer from every angle.
The American Cancer Society was introduced to Second Life in 2004 when Jade Lilly recognized the potential that the virtual world offered a place to educate, raise awareness, and fundraise for a disease that affects us all. That first year, 99 avatars assembled to raise $2,000 and spark a movement that would ripple across the grid every year thereafter. In 2005, the volunteers organized the first official Relay for Life of Second Life. 315 avatars walked a 6-region track while raising $5,000. The event was so groundbreaking that the New York Times even included it in an article about the American Cancer Society.
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence. The cars were cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a bottle of wine, your head in the curtains, and heart like the 4th of July. You swore and said we are not shining stars. This I know.
This is a story about countless volunteers from around the world who came on board, moved forward in strength and unity to make some of the biggest accomplishments in the history of the American Cancer Society and of Second Life. This is the story of a people who understand and define the word hope, who end most conversations with a hug, and never ever walk away from a fight as important as the fight against cancer.
Carry on. Carry on, carry on.
In 2006, Fayandria Foley sat in the waiting room of her dermatologist. She picked up a copy of the New York Times and read an interesting article about a unique Relay for Life event that took place in a virtual world. Soon after, she joined Second Life for the sole purpose of supporting the American Cancer Society. The Relay movement was beginning to reach people all around the world. 2008 was a special year for the Relay community, marking the first time that any event in Second Life had raised $200,000 in a single year.
During this time, the American Cancer Society recognized the momentum in Second Life and decided to send a mentor. They selected someone who would teach and guide the teams of Relay for Life of Second Life about the American Cancer Society and its mission to fight cancer. This decision ultimately demonstrated the American Cancer Society's recognition of the value of dedicated volunteers in a virtual world.
During the 2010 season, although many people struggled through an economy crash, both in-world and out, 1,600 Second Life Relayers stayed the course, raising more than $200,000, showing that Relay for Life is more than just a fundraiser. It's about a community that comes together to take up the fight.
This led to an era of the one-team mindset in 2011 and 12. Relayers forged new friendships and unbreakable bonds guided more than 2,000 avatars, representing 300 teams in a most astounding crusade to raise $750,385 And in 2011, our relay community reached its $1 million milestone.
In 2013 and 14, the Relay for Life of Second Life experienced tremendous success when the mega event concept erupted and business partnerships flourished. Altogether, those 2 years resulted in 3,700 avatars, 395 teams, and a record-breaking $808,000. 2013 was a milestone year that celebrated our $2 millionth dollar. And in 2014, the Relay for Life of Second Life ranked number 14 out of 5,000 fundraising events around the world.
We're strong when we walk together. Together we can sing much louder, louder than any voice alone. With the strength of 1,000 soldiers, we can climb any mountain higher, higher, higher. Stand up together, put your hands up. You're not alone. Together we are one. Sing with me.
In 2015 and 16, the Second Life community struggled with many users abandoning their accounts. We responded by introducing new people to the Relay movement and by maintaining focus on the funding of the American Cancer Society's mission. Our spirit and commitment prevailed when 2,200 avatars made up 420 teams to raise $510,000.
In 2017, we were called upon to think beyond the box and even to break that box. This mindset led to the Relay Refresh movement in 2018 that would change the model for how we plan, organize, and execute the event in the virtual world. Over the last 2 years, 2,000 volunteers registered 238 teams and pushed their fellow avatars to raise $436,000. The 2017 season would also mark the $3 millionth raised by the Relay for Life, a Second Life community, since its beginning.
Celebrating the history and traditions of those in the past inspires us to hold ourselves to high standards, to appreciate the opportunity to use our virtual selves to make a meaningful impact on the fight against cancer, and to envision a future where we celebrate the lives we saved. We'll always remember those loved ones we lost along the way, and we commit to fighting back with a promise that the end to cancer, as this world knows it, is coming.
And so, our story continues.
Relay for Life could not do what we do in Second Life without the help of some very special people. I'd like to introduce Annie Braveheart, to recognize these special people, our sponsors.
Thank you, Trader. Good morning, Relayers. Sponsors come in many shapes and sizes, from the theme hours and region sponsors to the Heart of Relay, Premier, and Signature sponsors. We would like to thank all of our 2019 sponsors. Saying thank you is the least we can do, because we could not do this without you. Each and every year, you come through for us in a big way, and we are very appreciative. Relay for Life of Second Life would like to thank our signature sponsor, Linden Lab. Thank you for your support and your encouragement. The Heart of Relay, a real world sponsor, Seacoast Chevrolet in Ocean Township, New Jersey, the Hope sponsor of our Survivor Caregiver Sim. Thank you. Our premier sponsors this year are Rockcliffe University Consortium, RGF Estates, The Chili Pot, Relay Refresh, and saw existence. Thank you so very much. And thank you to all of our region sponsors and the Theme Hour sponsors. You all help defray costs and raise much needed funds for the greater good, to save lives, celebrate lives, and lead in the fight against cancer. On behalf of all relayers, we thank you. Thank you for helping those with cancer celebrate more birthdays. Welcome to the 2019 Relay for Life of Second Life in support of the American Cancer Society. As Trader said, my name is Annika Braveheart. I want to thank you for being here this weekend as we work together in this most important fight to end cancer. Your presence here is so powerful. You're also fighting back against a disease that affects so many. But together, we are strong, we are mighty, and we are a force to be reckoned with. Together, we can make a difference. Last year, I stood here sharing my observations during the 2018 season. And just like then, I am always amazed at how much time and effort every team shows in the months leading up to Relay Weekend. And I'm always thrilled to see how we come together as one. For we have one goal in mind. We're here to help rid our world of cancer and celebrate more birthdays. While we each have our own personal reasons for gathering this weekend, we have one thing in common. We want to make a difference. We want to do all we can to support the American Cancer Society. We are here to give support and encouragement to those battling cancer, to honor and remember those whose battles have ended, and to fight so that no one will hear those dreaded words, "You have cancer." If this is your first relay, the next 24 hours will be life-affirming and so inspiring. You'll meet so many new people. This season, I met someone who has inspired me to never give up when the road gets rough. Not only will people inspire you, but so will these impressive builds and the way that knowledge is shared. It's truly a 24 hours, unlike any other. 24 hours. So much can happen in that time. As cancer doesn't sleep, neither will we. With that being said, I have just one question for you all. Are you ready to hit the track? I know I am. Let's get all aboard for a cure. Thank you for being here and for taking part in Relay for Life of Second Life in support of the American Cancer Society.
or jacket or sign or Facebook post ever the same. They have meaning to me now. I guess cancer taught me it really doesn't pick a person if they are good or bad, old or young. It doesn't pick a person by their skin color or where they're from. It taught me that when you are told you have cancer, it hits you like a squall, a sudden and violent windstorm at sea that comes with rain showers and thunderstorms and even snow. But after this huge wall of water, cancer, hits you, you are tossed and thrown for miles off your set course. Then, for a few months, you are bobbing in and out of the water, floating, drifting, lost. And just when you think you'll never be found, you'll never see your family or friends or life again, you pray to God for help. And maybe He sends it, but you don't see it because you become so blinded by the sun reflecting off the water. You cry out, but no one really hears you. You try to entertain yourself, and some days you believe you're not even lost, but you are. You question so many things, the whys. Why me? Why did I live? Why did they die? Why did I have to get this? Why am I lost? Why can't I be found? Why do I feel like no one understands where I am? Why won't God help me? Why did God let me get cancer? Why? And then you doubt yourself as a woman, as a wife, and now as a mother that I would never be. You drift along. You drift along with each day passing, you start to realize you're never going to be found. Everyone has gave up the search for you. And you're all alone in your own thoughts, in your own feelings, in your own darkness. Then, out of nowhere, you spot land. You spot land. And with all the tears and the pain you've suffered through, you can see that this part of your life is coming to an end. Your heart skips a beat and you start to swim towards the beach. You're so tired of this water, of this yearning to be warm and safe again. But you notice as you're swimming that you feel like you can't take one more stroke. Your arms are burning. You're so tired. You don't want to let go, but you just can't go on. When all of a sudden, you feel someone pushing you. But who could that be? Who could be there to help you back to the shore? You turn and look, and the water is filled with your friends and your family. And your husband takes you and pulls you by the hand and tells you what a wonderful wife you are, and you always have been. His smile warms your heart like you haven't felt in a long time. Beside him is your mom, helping to push you forward. Your aunts and uncles, cousins, doctors, and friends, and people you've never even met before, all helping you. And as you look behind you, you can no longer see the water at all. That in fact, it's full of people. People who stayed on the phone with you for hours as you cried about being lost. Strangers who prayed for you to get well even after the cancer was gone. An aunt who would just sit and just nod her head, not talking, but letting me tell her how sad I was, and never judging me. A friend who told me no matter what time of the night it was, if I needed, just to call. New friends who opened their door and their hearts to me when I just needed a hug. My mother, who day in and day out took care of my wound, not only on my body, but helped mend the wound in my heart. A caregivers group who was there for my mom and me. And as we get closer to the shore, my husband pulls me close and he wraps his arms around me. He's so happy to have me back. But I'm not the same. The sea of life has changed me. It's changed our path. We can't have kids. As he cups my face, he says, I have you, and that's all I need. They had all been in that water with me this whole time, helping me. leading me back to land. But I just couldn't get there till I was ready. And I'm ready to put this nasty trip to sea behind me. I've grown as a person, as a woman, a friend, a daughter, and as a wife. So what has cancer taught me? It's really taught me a lot. That you're never really lost as long as you have family and friends who will help you find that shoreline. That when that squall hit me, it hit them too. And although I felt I was alone, I wasn't. I really wasn't. And I'm sure some days I'll put my toes in the sand and I'll stare out at that open water and I'll wonder how I ever made it. Because when you're lost at sea and you've lost all hope, it's a lonely place. And you can't see all the family and friends you have because you feel so sorry for yourself for what you lost when that ship went down. But I'll just have to wipe away that tear that falls down my face and smile. Because I didn't go down with the ship. And I made it back to land. And that's a lesson I guess only cancer can teach you. Thank you.
In the more than 5,200 communities in 20 countries, Relay for Life events make up the signature fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. Each Relay for Life event is special to its community, including this one, this virtual world of Second Life. The movement's true power lies in the combined commitment of thousands of participants, volunteers, and supporters who help the American Cancer Society save lives. And in this community, we are very diverse, from the young to old, from all over the world. Our new relayers may wonder why Relay for Life is an overnight event, and we want you to know there is strong symbolism in the 24-hour event. Our Relay for Life event starts in the morning, and it ends at the next day's morning. The light and darkness of the day and night parallel the physical effects, emotions, and mental state of a cancer patient while undergoing treatment. If you look at the logo of the American Cancer Society, you see the shape of a crescent moon and the rays of the sun accentuated by a single star to the left of the moon. A purpose of this symbol is to remind cancer patients that their loved ones of the victories made in the fight to cure cancer, as well as the progress still needed. It is a reminder to us that there is no reprieve for those fighting cancer or for their loved ones. One of the main catchphrases for the relay is "Cancer never sleeps." The sun, moon, and star represent the concept of day and night in terms of the length of the event and the struggles faced by cancer patients. These graphics also speak to the countless hours spent by researchers and medical professionals working towards treating and curing the disease. It's event day, and the relay is beginning. We're excited and looking forward to what this day will hold and the experiences we will share. We're thinking about all the things in our life we are thankful for, and how lucky we are to be here together with friends. As the participants arrive to start relay, we're all strong and ready for the challenge. In the lightness of day, we join our friends on the track. We begin the walk, strong and full of hope. Our survivors honor us by walking that first lap, joined by their caregivers in celebration. This special lap is triumphant and joyous. It is hope and belief. The early hours of the relay event symbolizes a time before the cancer diagnosis.
As the darkness begins to fall, the cancer patient walks into the unknown is represented. The surreal moment when the patient hears those terrifying words, "You have cancer." The state of panic is not really knowing what lies ahead as treatment is determined. The sadness and fear. Those agonizing moments when time stands still and temporarily the world stops spinning. As relayers transition into night, we imagine the reality of devastating diagnosis as it settles in and is shared with friends and family. The cancer patient is reaching the deep darkness of loss and despair that will be felt during the journey. Just like the darkness of night can leave someone with a feeling of uncertainty, so does the cancer diagnosis. As the night goes on, relayers wonder if they have what it takes to keep moving throughout the night. Just like there are times that the cancer patient wonders the same thing. But just as the cancer patient does not sleep, neither do we. And someone, at least one of us, is on the track at all times to continue the journey. With the coming of dawn, we see the hope and the light ahead. The coming of the end of treatment is in sight. At this point, the cancer patient is tired, but he knows he's going to make it. The morning sunrise brings another full day of life, excitement, and new beginnings. This symbolizes that moment when the survivor experiences the realization that they've done it. They realize that they live to see another day. The end of treatment has come. At this point, relayers who have been on the track for nearly 24 hours are tired, but they also feel the excitement that comes with this new day. We cherish it and its promise of a cancer-free tomorrow. Throughout the 24-hour event, we are reminded of the people who share the journey with us, from friends and family to caregivers to strangers, who all share the same walk.
I'm still broken up from before that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Diana and Ariel, just now for sharing the symbolism of the 24 hours ahead of us. And speaking of sharing the same walk, we are just about ready for the first lap, where our survivors and caregivers will start us off in the honorable opening lap. It's a tradition unlike no other. And so if you are a survivor or a caregiver who's walking in this lap, when I'm finished talking, you can go ahead and make your way to your starting points. And if you don't know your starting point, or you didn't get to register, look at the big map and find the region with the least amount of green dots and start there. So we want people starting from all over. And we ask that everybody else fan out around the track by teleporting back to your campsites and cheer on the survivors and caregivers as they walk the opening lap with their caregivers. And this honor lap is going to continue until 12:30 SLT. After that will be the Lag-tastic Parade of Teams, where we will ask our teams to walk a lap together before we settle into the regular walking schedule. A couple of housekeeping notes. Please keep in mind that you are able to improve your lag experience by reducing your avatar complexity, your inventory count, wearable scripts and HUDs, and group membership. Don't let the lag get you down, because at Relay for Life, lag means success. And if you do crash, you can always tune into the Relay event stream at t1radio.com, or look for T1 Radio on your TuneIn app. And you can check out the video. We have a video made by Drax. Yes, Drax from the Drax Files. It is on relayforlife.org/secondlife. Go ahead and click through. It's a promo that he made for Relay. Please like it, comment on it, share it from YouTube, because Linden Lab is measuring the response rate to the videos. And if that video does well, then that could lead to more videos from Drax all about us in Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society. Okay, don't miss the most inspiring ceremony of the year tonight at 9 p.m. SL, where we will remember those who we've lost to cancer, and we'll celebrate the people who provided them support during the Luminaria ceremony. That's 9 p.m. SL. And the Fight Back Lap will take place at 6 a.m. tomorrow, when we have the opportunity to take a pledge to ourselves that we'll do something that will help each of us with our own personal battle or personal prevention from cancer. You can also view the theme schedule and the DJ schedule at relayforlife.org/secondlife, where Drax's video is, and the theme hours will be on display over the track on every region. Also on every region, you'll see the relay info stations that contain all the best goodies to get the most out of your relay weekend. And then the 2019 Relay for Life of Second Life will end at 10 a.m. with the closing ceremony, where we celebrate our accomplishments of the season, followed by a final victory lap, which begins immediately after the closing ceremony. We try to put a time to it, but sometimes that closing ceremony could be short, could be long. We just walk the lap after that. And keep listening to your viewer media or at t1radio.com. Be sure to keep an eye on group notices and region messages for announcements throughout the weekend. And now, please join us in cheering on our heroes of hope, our cancer survivors, our reasons to celebrate as they walk our honor walk, the opening lap of this 2019 Relay for Life of Second Life. We are all aboard for a cure.